next act I'm going to start cheering and go crazy for Christopher Lofthouse. Everyone start going crazy for Chris Lofthouse in the world!
Thank you very much for that, James. I haven't been full named for a while, but it feels like I'm naughty in school again anyway. So a little bit about me. My name's Chris. I'm from Thornaby. A couple of cheers, that'll do. I'm from the posh end of Thornaby though, because I pronounce the TH. Does anyone know where the posh end of Thornaby is? Ingleby. I'll put you out of your misery, it's Ingleby, yeah, Ingleby. Ingleby's where you move to when you're from Thornaby and you've got a little bit of money and a bit of ambition, but you can't quite afford your own. So that's where you end up. I've not been doing stand-up too long, but I have learned it's a really good way of getting stuff off your chest. It's a fantastic form of therapy. So I'm going to tell you all about my vasectomy. So I take even hard one then, no? Anyone in the crowd been through that? Not to trauma dump with anyone? Anyone? Yeah, I'll be balls afterwards. Were they alright, yeah? Were they alright, yeah? It was a very strange and sort of weird process. Just as talking about it is a strange and weird process, because I'm basically telling a room full of strangers that I can spunk anywhere I want. It was quite strange, but I was quite afraid to go into it, and the last thing I wanted to do was Google it before I went in. I mean, you don't want to know what your favourite sausages are made, do you? So, the last thing I wanted to do was read up on it before I went in. My only previous experience of surgery frightened the life out of me, so a couple of years ago I had a hernia operation. And again, really wasn't looking forward to it. I remember bringing my mum on the morning of the procedure and saying, "Mum, I love you," basically. And she said, "Do you think you're not going to come out?" I went, "Yeah, because the last thing I need in anaesthetics slow my heart down. Look at the state of me. I've been living on pints and palmos for 20 odd years." So yeah, I was quite frightened about that. But what happened was I went into the procedure and the doctor came out and he, you know, when they come into the room beforehand and I've got my hospital gown on, my arse out, cold, I'm vulnerable, really not looking forward to the procedure. And I tell you what they do as well, you know, they tell you to take your own dressing gown. Yeah? I took the one dressing, if this had been my mission, I should have had silk, should have had all sorts of different types of dressing gowns to choose from, right? I took the only one I've had for the past 30 years, covered in dibby egg, cornflakes, all sorts, it was disgusting. Anyway, he comes in, he starts giving me all these questions, you know, they go through this questionnaire before you go in for a procedure. He's asking me all about my diet, he's asking me all about my exercise, he's asking me all about my alcohol intake. And what do? You lie. I don't know why. This man's here to help me, right? I'm telling him everything he wants to hear, not the stuff he shouldn't be hearing, right? So he's asking me and I'm going, "Oh yeah, I run 3 miles a day, don't you?" Diet? Oh, strictly vegan. Like, I never touch cheese, honestly. Alcohol? Nah, I don't like the taste of it. I have a little sherry at Christmas. Because you don't want anyone knowing you drink Carling, do you? So, went through all that, and then he was going through all these questions, and he got to this one particular question, and he said, "What do you do for a living?" I said, "I'm an estate agent." And he looked at me really serious, and he took his glasses off. He went, "My fixed rate mortgage is due to run out in 6 months. What would you recommend I do?" I said, "I recommend you just concentrate on your fucking job, please. Because I can't give you tips from beyond the grave." Anyway, he got his own back, because for some reason I woke up from the procedure all muggy from the anaesthetic, and he completely shaved one leg. Don't know why, I thought it was a massive chicken leg when I woke up. Anyway, back to my ball bag. So I went for this procedure in Hartlepool. And that filled me with joy, because if anyone's going to know the way around a sharp knife, it's going to be someone from Hartlepool, isn't it? And I'll tell you what was funny as well, because it was weird, it was awkward. I'm laid on the bed, the nurse comes over with the anaesthetic and she says, "Little prick." And I said, "Thanks." I'm not exactly looking my best, you know. And she's down there and she's like, "You only go for a haircut, Wendy, you'll know all the small talk, Wendy, won't you? You know all the small talk." She's like this. "Are you going anywhere nice on your holidays this year?" "What was the traffic like coming in?" She wasn't talking into me dick, this is part of the joke. She wasn't like, you know. And she's chatting away, and I'm looking down, and I'm like, oh, fucking hell. Luckily I've got a bit of a gut, so I couldn't see what she was doing. I could just see her head, right? It was proper like hairdresser chat, right? Really good, very comfortable, even in a strange situation. By the end of it, she'd finished and she had a little mirror. She was like showing me the back, you know, like here at the bar. And I'm going, yeah, I'd sound that, love, yeah. Yeah, cheers, I like what you've done there. Brilliant. So I left the room like I just climbed off a horse. Like that, John Wayne. And they give me this little sheet. You know when you've been for something at the doctors and they give you like a sheet and it's aftercare and tips and stuff like that, yeah? So they give me this tip and it said, we'll call you back for a checkup in 4 weeks' time. 25 flush-throughs, they called it. Flush-throughs. And I'm looking at that and thinking, that's clearly out of date data because I've got high-speed internet, I can knock that out in a weekend. If my missus at work, I can probably knock it out in a day, you know. He's nodding, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah, that was my vasectomy. Thanks for listening to that. I was crying as well, honestly. Just to go back to something I said earlier on as well, I am an estate agent. No booze, good. I don't make the prices up. I do, but that's not the point. I love telling people I'm an estate agent because usually they do boo at the fucking hills, right? They do hills. And nobody really asks me for advice because they always know better. The reason for that is everybody watches Homes Under the Hammer, don't they? Yeah. Everybody watches it. Are you a big fan of it?
I am.
Yeah? What's better, Homes Under the Hammer or location?
Homes Under the Hammer, because location pisses me off. Is the one like
It pisses you off?
3-bedroom on the beach, but near nightlife, but not too for like 40 grand.
Tell me about it.
I need to manage your expectations.
I'm the fucking idiot trying to find a man that's right. Anyway, it's always interesting telling people what to do because you're never right. Whatever advice I give them, they're always wrong because of Homes Under the Hammer. Can you imagine Homes Under the Hammer in heaven? Really? It'd go based something like this. It'd be like, Jacko bought his 2-bedroom terrace for £50,000. He treated it to a full landlord special, and he whitewashed every room, including the light switches and the windows. Jacko's left the front door hanging off from the last raid for that rustic feel. Jacko now thinks his house is worth £300,000. It's like, mate, Jacko, it's not worth more because there's a fucking grow in the loft. Do you know what I mean? It gives you one really good thing about my job is it gives you a really good insight into people's lives. It's like I'm a burglar but with concept. So I like to play this game where I can try and tell things about people from what they've got in the house, right? So I'll be in the house, I'll go in the living room, there'll be loads of books, there'll be loads of magazines, nice art on the wall, and I'll think, educated, probably good conversationalists. If I go into the kitchen, cooking appliances, ingredients, cookbooks, I'll think, yeah, great hosts, yeah. If I go in the garage and I've got a home gym, I'll think, cunts. And I'll leave you with this, So, if you are inviting an estate agent around your house, or an electrician, or a plumber, or anyone, any stranger, I'm going to watch where I look when I say this. Hide your fucking dildos, please, honestly. Nobody's impressed. We don't get together in the pub on a Friday and go, hey, Mrs. Jones, she's got a big one down there. This sounds like you speaking from personal experience here.
No, my last name's Jones.
I probably should have looked at you when I said that. But yeah, just put them away because no one's impressed. I remember once I was in Hartlepool a few years back and this lady came out and she had this sex toy, you know, it was like a fucking fire extinguisher. It was enormous. I've never felt so inadequate in my life. It had like a pulse start at the end, you know, like. Oh, honestly, it was horrendous stuff. You know you see these roadside burger vans, the little generator on the back. That's exactly what it was like. The house stunk of diesel fumes. It was horrific. Anyway, we've been together 15 years now, so we just tell the kids that we met in the pub like normal people. I've been Chris. Thank you very much for having me. Chris, everyone.